this is Sue, and I have a new camera this morning, and so I'm testing it out, trying it. It is June 13th, 2019, and it's 8:20 in the morning. And so for this video, I made this video last week, and for some reason my computer would not upload it, so I'm going to try it again today and see what happens. There are some things about this camera that I just got it yesterday, so I'm still learning. But the other camera that I had was fine, except it used AA batteries and it ate them like crazy, and I couldn't afford that. So I've been asked to talk about things like thread, bobbins, and things like that. So I'm going to do a short video on thread, different kinds of thread. There are several different kinds of thread depending on what you can afford and what kind of work you're doing. Now, I mostly work with quilters cottons, so I mostly use cotton thread, and that's what I have mostly. But there's different kinds of spools, and this one is called a stacked. Now, I've heard people say they don't even make this anymore, but you can get it at Walmart, because I just bought some. And the reason why it's called stacked is the way that it's wound onto the spool. It is in very even rows, back and forth, very even, and that's called, the thread is stacked one row on top of another in very even rows, and that's why this particular kind, and this has been around forever. My mother used these back when I was a kid, so these have been around for a long time, and they're still reliable, and they're still affordable. And in fact, I have an old spool here that's never been opened, and the original price on it is 50 cents, and it's a polyester. I don't use polyester very much, but you know, it is an option. The next kind is this. I really like these. These are called cross wound, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but I don't know if you can see how it is crossed. One stack is crossed over the other. You can kind of see it there. It's not straight like this one is, or this one. These are both stacked. This is crossed, and I think you can see that. And these are very affordable. I get these at Walmart, and this has, this has 1,200 yards of thread. You can do a lot of sewing with this, and I really like these. And then this kind is called a cone. It's called a cone. And these are used mostly in serger machines, but I use them in my sewing machine. Now, I have never owned or used a serger. I know nothing about them. You know, you're gonna have to go to somebody else for advice on the serger, because I've never used one. But with the cone, what I do is I set it down. The reason why I bought this was so I could see what was going on. I don't know if you can see this or not. Okay. This is the cone that I use, and I thread it through a binder clip. I put a binder clip on here on my machine, and then I go ahead and thread it through my machine, and it works just fine. Now, there's different kinds of cones. Some of them are got a better base on them than others. This kind of a base here tends to turn over pretty easy, and so you have to put those down in a jar or something. This kind, it's got a broader base, oh no, it says I'm upside down. Okay, it's got a broader base, and I've never had any trouble with these turning over. Now, on my machine, I don't know if you can see this or not. The cross wound sits here on this. The stacked sits on this. And then, of course, the cone sits down on the table. Now, let's discuss bobbins. Let's discuss thread. Now, you don't want to use thread that is rotten or frayed. You want to take a look at your thread. First of all, you want to check it, make sure it's not frayed. That'll go through your machine and ruin it. You don't want that. Another thing you don't want is rotten thread, because your project will just fall apart. You can wind it around your fingers like this. Give it a good hard tug. See that? I'm pulling on that pretty hard and it's not breaking. That's good thread. If it breaks real easy, you don't want it. Don't even try it. It will just ruin your project. It'll ruin your machine. It'll ruin your project. Don't even try it. Now, as for bobbins, there are 3 different kinds of machines. There are front load, side load, top load. I've used front load, and my current machine is a front load. I've used side load. I have never used top load. I can't answer any questions about it. I've never used one. Before I start a project, I wind several bobbins. Now, I watched a video from a lady a while back, and I can't remember her name, and she said she always wound 20 bobbins before she started a project. That's a lot of bobbins. One bobbin is about 50 yards. So I usually wind 5 or 6. And I'm always buying bobbins. This is my bobbin box. I got this either at a thrift store or a garage sale. I can't remember which. The lid fell off of it right after I bought it, so I just threw it away because I didn't need it. And this says, they sell these at Walmart. It says it's supposed to be for thread. Well, it didn't work for me for thread, but it works great for bobbins. And so I have my empty bobbins, and like I said, I'm always out buying bobbins because you need them. And if I'm using a certain color and I've already got the bobbins filled, I go ahead and use them. Now, as for bobbins, this right here is the bobbin. It holds about 50 yards, about. So you can figure your bobbin has got about 50 yards worth of thread on it. This is the shuttle, and it's got a little handle on here like that, so you can hang on to it, put it in your machine, and when you put the bobbin into the shuttle, there's a little slit right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. But there's a little slit right there. And that points in the direction that the bobbin should be turning. So when you put your bobbin in, you want to see which direction your bobbin's turning. This one's turning the correct way. If it's turning the wrong way, you want to take it out and turn it over. Now then, when it comes down, there's a little piece of metal that's attached here on the side. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's attached here on the side. This is your tension. This is your tension control. Now you can mess around with that, but I don't recommend it. And then you pull your bobbin thread down into, pull that out so I can show you. You put it into the slot that I was telling you about. It tells you which direction it goes in. Then you pull it down. Hear that click? That's what it's supposed to do. Now it's in there. It will turn. We can put it in the machine now. Okay, I'm going to try this. This thing doesn't want to move. It's stuck to this thing. All right. Now, let me see if I can get this. Okay. All right. I hope you can see that. Now the bobbin goes in here. Now this is the mechanism for the bobbin. And in another video I'm going to show you how to take this out so you can clean the bobbin, or clean around the bobbin, but I think this video is getting to be long enough. You put this bobbin in here with this little hook to the top, and you push that in. Hear that snap? That means that bobbin's in there correctly. Hold the top thread like this. Turn the wheel. You will see that top thread go around like it didn't do this time. And it will grab hold of that bobbin thread, and you can pull it on up. Grab a hold of it, and there you have both your top and bobbin threads pulled out. I don't recommend trying to start sewing without pulling that bobbin thread up. You can try it, but I don't recommend it. Anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this short tutorial. And I hope that you will enjoy your day and come back again soon. Thank you. Bye.